Hi, good evening. I haven't seen some of you for a long time. I hope you enjoy your holiday. Okay, we're going to go straight into chapter 3, being mindful in daily life. So please open your book and we read a little bit from the text, from 109 until 128. Okay, we should wear what is suitable and appropriate for our age and within our family's means. Okay, when eating and drinking, okay, do not be fussy, eat only the right amount, do not overeat, until 132. Okay, so start with 109 until 132. Okay, ready? Go. Chapter 3, being mindful in daily life. Get up early and go to bed at a reasonable time. Knowing how time flies, we should treasure every day. When we get up, we should wash our face and brush our teeth. After using the toilet, we should always wash our hands. Our head should be properly put on, clothing correctly buttoned, and socks and shoes neatly worn. We should put our clothes away in their proper places. We should not leave them lying around, for they will get dirty that way. It is more important that our clothes be neat and clean than fashionable and expensive. We should wear what is suitable and appropriate for our age and within our family's means. When eating and drinking, do not be fussy. Eat only the right amount. Do not overeat. Okay. Should we attempt to read in Chinese? There are phonetics. So we'll try. Follow the phonetics. If you can't make it out, the sound is okay. We'll try, okay? 景朝起早夜眠迟老易至惜此时晨必盥兼漱口便溺回輒净手冠必正纽必结袜与履俱紧切置冠服有定位勿乱顿致污穢衣贵洁不贵华上循分下称家对饮食勿拣择食适可勿过则好 See, it's so much easier in Chinese. Huh? Three words convey all the same words in English. So don't worry, you get a hang of it, block by block, like word for word. Okay, now this chapter it's about actually how to manage, our daily, routines and some of the attitudes we should have when we do things. One of the very important attitudes we should hold in life is know how to manage our time. So today, if I ask you, are you busy? This is almost a very useless question, isn't it? Are you busy? Of course you are busy, right? So I should ask you, so what are you busy about today? What did you do today? Then you have to think, what did I do today? I'm not sure what did I do today, right? We're really busy. That the busy has become, blindly doing things that we are not remember, 忙. We're not even sure what we are busy about because we don't seem to be able to control our time, to manage our time. So the young child who study this must learn actually how to manage their time. Starting from where? Starting from the bedroom. Okay, tidying up their bed, tidying up their closets, okay, their playhouse, okay? And also doing routines that they don't like but which they have to be trained to do, okay, to take care of their appearance, their hygiene. So time management is very important. I think ever since we're young, our parents will tell us what? 早睡早起，精神好。有没有听过？有哦。还有呢？还有什么东西跟我们说一定要早睡的？早起的小鸟有虫吃啊，所以要早一点呢出来呢比较好。那么这个景也是一样的，所以第一件事他要教的，就要教我们怎么样呢？珍惜时间啊，不要明日复明日。Don't say there's always tomorrow. Wait until tomorrow. Wait until tomorrow. Whatever we can do today, we will do it today. Whatever we cannot finish, yes, we will do it. Continue to do it tomorrow. 那这个朝起早夜眠迟哈，then you say the Chinese say 夜眠迟 that means what? Go to bed at a later time. Wouldn't it be wonderful? We hear this, wow, 夜眠迟可以不用这么早睡 Wouldn't it wonderful? Especially children. Who wants to go to sleep early, children? The night time is the best time for me to chat, to do other things. So 夜眠迟非常好，妈咪，这个《弟子规》原来还不错的。Not bad 啦，妈咪，夜眠迟啊 ，don't have to go to sleep early. So we must justify this for you, okay? Now, in the ancient time, what is late? 迟是什么呢？太阳下去就迟了。Because there were no electricity, they have to burn the kerosene lamp or burn the oil lamp. So for them, it's 迟了。那可能8点多就是睡觉了。8点多对他们来讲已经很迟了。So after 8 is already very late for them. So children, they are learned to actually to go and check the doors, check the windows, make sure they are shut, right? And make sure their parents are safely tucked away in their bedroom already. Father and mother are safe. Now I can go to bed. Okay? Of course, now is the other way around. Okay? We always tuck the children first, make sure they are safe, then only, the parents go to bed. But in the ancient time, children are groomed to take care of their parents ever since they were young. 你从小就要想到照顾你的父母亲，这是中国古人教孩子的，处处都要想到爸爸妈妈，想到爸爸妈妈辛苦了一天，爸爸妈妈回来要让他们好好休息，要帮他们做事情。所以夜眠迟呢，是把所有的门啊、窗啊、火呀全部熄好了。而且 in northern China, they because during the winter time, I think they even burn the woods inside the house in the kitchen to keep the place warm. So they have to make sure the flames are already put away. 这个火要把它熄掉啊，然后不可以说什么就是先去睡觉，那就不孝了。孝子是不会躺着去睡觉，不管父母的，他不可以这样的。所以就是为什么夜眠迟。那为什么要早呢？要比父母亲起得早，要去问候父母亲 ，must go and greet the father and mother. So 你要站在那个外面先打好打扫好了要怎么叫父母要等在那边，跟父母说父亲早，妈妈早 ，Good morning, mom. Good morning, dad. 而不是爸爸妈妈站在我们的床边 ，Hello, wake up. You're going to be late for school. You're going to be late for school. Quick. 哎呀 Mom, let me sleep some more lah, please. I'm still tired. Quick, you miss your bus. You miss your ride or something. No, 孝子不应该这样的因为呢，孝子呢 ，do not worry, do not make the parents worry。你做个孝子不能够让爸爸妈妈担心的，让爸爸妈妈担心是很不孝的。所以从小孩子要这样教要教他，这个不能够让爸爸妈妈不安心，要让他爸爸妈妈能够安心才是就是孝顺。所以他必须什么？朝起早。朱子治家格言说嘛 ，the maxims of 朱子 said， 一早就什么？打扫庭除。一早起来就要打扫这些courtyard，打扫这些房间的。打扫完了之后呢，做完之后呢，要什么？就跟这家人就一起这个说声好一些。So these are very good kind of practice to train a child, one to be filial and two to be responsible, right from the very young age. Always think for the father, always think for the mother. And from a practical point, I find that if we wake up early, let's say at 5 in the morning, the day seem to be longer. We seem to have more time to do things. I find that if I wake up at 7 or 8, suddenly it is afternoon already. And suddenly it's nighttime already. Right? 所以一定要抓紧那个早上的时间 to do that. And, don't you think it's funny, 把这个 when we get up, we should wash our face and brush our teeth. Do you not think this is something that we do all the time? Right? But why is it put there? It's to remind ourselves of the hygiene. Something that is very simple, but something we should do and not skip in our life. Our appearance, our hygiene. Okay? After using the toilet, we should always wash our hands. I remember during the SARS period, when SARS was almost become an epidemic, remember they remind us to wash our hands? Right? Keep on reminding you must wash your hands, wash your hands. But if your child has learned 弟子规, he already know that. She already know that she doesn't have to be reminded again. Why you have to be reminded again? Because children may not have this habit. But 弟子规 teach them, okay, 你一定要把它洗手，而且我们教孩子洗手也有方法的那我们怎么洗啊？
You normally wash your hands. Like that, right? Then, or one day I also it's okay. Wash. That's how you wash it, right? And then on top of that, that's how it goes. So children, they should give them a handkerchief, right? A handkerchief, and to wash their hands when they wash it, you wash this one, the upper palm of the left, the upper palm of the right, and then the upper hand of the left arm and upper hand of the right arm. 要这样洗的，不是擦，然后腾，like that. Okay, and then go on. So in the class, the children's class, they are then taught like to wash their hand properly, not to splash the water all over the place, okay, and not to wipe their hands on their body, okay, or use their sleeves, right? Oh no, usually they do this.
Certainly, Chinese are being seen as a ethnic group who is not very clean and tidy. When I was in San Francisco, I think in the 1980s, I first went to San Francisco Chinatown. I hope it has changed now. Okay, it was very rowdy, very busy, full of people, but the streets were less tidy. And then when I went to Japanese village, it was so tidy. It was so neat and so quiet, and what a big contrast. Right? And everywhere there were Chinese, in the restaurant, they become very noisy. So we gave people the impression that we are very noisy. Do you agree? Or you need to protest? This is not true. We are actually very quiet and cultured. I can't say that because whenever they are Chinese, we tend to be very, very loud. I was talking to somebody who lived in Japan most of her life, and she told me that in Japan, people do not speak loudly in public transport. okay, in public area, which I agree because I was in the subway during the peak hour. Right? And there's all the story I heard about, how you squeeze people into the Japanese, express train, and you just get sandwiched right inside. It's true. Because I was standing there, and it was an express train. Express train means that they only start from your original point and then go to your destination. It doesn't stop at any other places. And it was just packed with people. I thought I was going to suffocate. But there were so many people, okay? And I was standing there. I didn't have to hang on to anything. There was no place for me to put my hand on, okay? But don't worry, I didn't have to trip because I was surrounded by people. So when I leaned to the left side, there was a guy. When I leaned to the right side, there was a woman. When I leaned backward, there would be someone else at the back. Then when I leaned forward, there was someone in the front. So I was pretty safe, but I was like, I can't breathe. And also, I also heard that Japanese men have a habit of going to have 1 or 2 drinks after they finish work. I'm not sure whether this is right or not, but the man standing in front of me definitely had a few drinks. And because his height was about my height, he wasn't very tall, and he was breathing all this alcohol, And in front of me, I was like, please open the door. Please open the door. But throughout, I did not hear anybody talking. People were quiet. Very quiet people. And I went to a restaurant, and also they were very quiet, except when they drink. When they drink, they became very rowdy. Okay, if they don't drink, they seem to be very orderly and quiet. I don't know what happened to Chinese when they drink. Worse or better? Maybe you guys can tell me. Are they worse or better? Huh? Worse, huh? Oh, okay. And then everybody had to yum say, Oh boy, is it they give people the impression that we are untidy, we are loud, and we are gamblers. I was talking to my Canadian, friend and grandmother. They'll ask me the first thing, is it true Chinese are gamblers? I said, well, I'm a Chinese. I'm not a gambler. Maybe you're different. That's what we heard. Is that true? I said, unfortunately, most Chinese like to gamble. Gamble doesn't mean that you throw the dice or you go and go to gambling or something, okay? But it also means stock speculation. It's also a kind of gambling. When I first came back in the mid-90s, it was interesting. Why I did not dare to touch the stock market of Malaysia? Even a woman from the counter, she can tell me a tip about a stock. She said, 你有唔有買呢粒啊？咩嚟㗎？你買個梗贏㗎。I look at her. She was just a kind of ordinary, she's not like a remiser or an expert in investment or anything. She was just a very ordinary, your everyday housewife. She was just standing at the counter, and I want to buy some electrical cookware from her. And suddenly she started to talk about stock markets with me. So when I heard this, I knew that I cannot touch the stock market here. Because even someone who is they call it, if any ordinary person can tell you, hey, you got to buy this, you will definitely win. It's time to get out. Because they are speculating. It's a highly speculative, market. So, luckily I trusted my instinct. Right? So, this way it carries part of the ancient culture for the Chinese. The kind of ideal Chinese that our saints and sages would like to see their descendants to become. And this descendant is someone who is very responsible, does not waste his time, very filial, and very hygienic. Okay, take care of his appearance. We must put our hat properly. Of course, we don't have hat now. But if you're in Japan, you wear a baseball hat and so on, baseball cap. That means, and button up your shirt properly is to look tidy. Okay, look tidy for other people and make yourself feel good as well. Okay. And then we should put our clothes away in their proper places. Again, be tidy, and from here we learn to be organized. Okay, 置冠服有定位，勿乱顿致污穢。从非常简单的要洗手，上了厕所要洗手，到这个冠必正纽必结，就是我们的 appearance 要整齐，给人家一种 respectfulness。And I also remember one of my Italian friends told me he was from Florence, and Florentines are more, according to him, more cultured than other Italians. Right? So he said, you will call him that wearing a sandals walking on the street. He's a man, okay? He said, I will never wear a sandals or a slipper on the street. That it is not appropriate. He said, must wear appropriate clothing to be on the street, because you will what? You are a scene. You are an object that somebody else can see. So if we wear nicely, it's pleasing to the people's eyes, it's good for other people. It's good for other people, it's also good for myself. But if I wear very in a ragged way, incoordinate, or give people a very messy kind of impression, then they will not like me, or they will not be pleasing. So I must always make other people feel comfortable by making myself look good. And the clothes we wear can affect us. Now, when you wear a clothes that does not breathe, like polyester, how do you feel? You feel that you cannot breathe. Right? But when you wear cotton, you feel a bit more, you can breathe better. Right? And when you walk into a lawyer's office, do you feel like you should see a lawyer that wear like coat, or at least tie, or at least nice shirt, or you would like to see a lawyer that wear jeans with holes on the jeans, even though it costs about $400. Okay, some jeans that have holes cost a lot of money. I don't know why fashion becomes like that, but hey, everybody has taste. And you wouldn't like to see that, would you? Would you like to see a lawyer or a banker who look like a rock star? You may not want to see that, because it conveys responsibility. Now, when you go to a recording house, the studio, or a place that record all these very pop artists, would you want to see someone who have like ties and coats and so on? It also does not look appropriate. So, 要上循分下称家. You wear to the occasion. Those you wear to the occasion. That's why factories have uniforms to symbolize their company, to bring out the spirit of their company. 上循分下称家. Which rank are you in? You wear what type of uniform, so you know your place. Even in Japan, you can just look at the color of the monk. You know which rank does he occupy in the establishment. So it was a very good way of organizing, their company. The 衣服上循分下称家. And it is more important our clothes be neat. 衣贵洁不贵华. How much money do you spend on clothing every year? Most probably don't keep count, right? Now, do you buy clothes every time there's a sale? You don't, right? Do you need all the clothes in your closet? You also don't need that. Now, you see, you don't buy clothes, you also don't buy clothes on sale. How come you have all the clothes in your closet? You do. Wow, especially women. Not like men. I don't know how men got their shirts from their wives, right? I don't know. You seldom go and shop, but your wife bought all these nice shirts and, hey, wear them. Because your wife wants you to look like certain movie stars. So they bought you all these nice shirts, guys. Now, we talk about women shopping. It's a habit about the joy of shopping, isn't it? It's not much so you need it, right? It's a joy of shopping. Don't want to say this. Is that desire equal what you want, you minus what you need. That's desire. That means the bigger your want is, the bigger your desire would be. Right? But the bigger your need is, the smaller your desire would be. That means your need is actually more than your want. That means you really need it. Right? That means you hardly have any desire just because you need it. Right? So it's interesting, okay? Now you look at these clothes. You walk and walk and walk, and suddenly you see this clothes, blouse, right? Then you're being drawn into it for some reason. Right? But usually the magnet is how many percent sale. It seems to be a giant magnet that draws us in, okay? Especially what? 2 for the price of 1 or 70% sale or 30% sale, especially a brand that you have been waiting for a long time. You have been looking and looking and looking, didn't want to buy. Suddenly one day, quick, only for today, 50% off, 30% off. Suddenly you bought. Right? Then you bought the blouse, you go home, you wear it. How did you feel? Not as nice as I thought. I thought I looked good, but I thought I looked good in the mirror in the shop. Maybe they put something in the shop, you always look good in the shop. You put your looks of yourself in the mirror, I look good. Then you brought it home, especially if nobody praises you. You wear these new clothes, your husband or your friend did not notice it. That is very, what do you call it, isn't it? Defeating. I spent so much money on this clothes that you didn't notice that. But if you're being praised, you will feel that, it's worth buying it. Right? So whether you buy it for praising or really for you need it, something actually is very interesting. Maybe we want to show, other people that, how we look. So we have all these clothes in the closet, right? Expensive one, middle range, or something that you just pick up because it's cheap. But how many clothes do you actually wear? How many pieces of clothes that you actually wear? I say 10. I said every day, your favorite will be only among those 10. Pajamas is the same thing, You may have 5, 6 types of pajamas. You may just like that one pajama. You keep on wearing and wearing and wearing. But whenever there's a new design, you buy it. But somehow you always go back to the one you like. I don't know why. Shoes also. You buy and buy and buy. But you wear more or less your favorite shoe until it drops dead under your feet. So this is human, what we call desire. So 衣貴華 means what? It doesn't have to be expensive. The expensive things that you do not need or may not look nice on you, but could be just desire. But if you need a really sturdy and classic, let's say, coat, yes, you can go for the branded ones because usually their design could be classic. They can last a long time. The fabrics could be great. Okay, 真的叫一分钱一分货，你才好去买哦。Okay. And you buy just 2 or 3 pieces, you can use the whole life. Because fashion comes back. Just variations. Right? And you just with 2 or 3, you just stick to it with your whole life. Right? So 衣貴潔不貴華，上循分下稱家就可以了。Then eating and drinking. Somebody once said to me, he said, okay, have you ever thought about that? Eating a roti canai in higher, expensive hotel costs, maybe $12 plus all the tax. Eating a roti canai in the mama store costs $1.20. So where would you like to eat your roti canai? And the roti canai at mama store tastes better. Because maybe hotel one is too hygienic or something. Mama store somehow it's got natural, I don't know, flavor into it. Then you say, but this comes into being. But it's different eating a roti canai in a posh hotel, isn't it? It's different, isn't it? You got nice music, you got nice waiters, and people look at you, you must have that heavy credit card. They can't afford, the $12, let's say, roti chana in this hotel, right? But your mama store, how they come in? Yes, what do you want? Okay, pop. Not much ambience or, service quality. It's strictly food quality. Right? Again, our desire. Okay. So what you need is maybe to taste a nice roti canai. Isn't that your purpose? Right? So if you don't need the ambience, then don't do it. But let's say one day you want to surprise your wife. I'm giving you a hint. One day you would like to surprise your wife and you want to take her to the nice place, nice restaurant. Even though you have to pay a little bit more, is it worth it? Or is it, the wife said that, the husband doesn't. Husband, no. My husband said, yes, of course. Well, I'll think about it. Yes, of course. Okay, so the need, to make your wife experience something different. Make her life a little bit more interesting. Let her break her awful routine. That becomes a need. Then it's different. The equation change. It's no longer a desire. It's actually more than a need. To help you to actually nourish your relationship. So that is actually a need. So as far as your drinking and eating goes, what is important is what we eat is nutritious. 要吃营养的东西。那什么是营养的东西呢，各位？ What is healthy food to us? I'm sure you're very knowledgeable. Let's discuss this because Malaysians love to eat. They said if you put a table and 4 chairs on the street, you open a store. Don't have to be a store lah. Just maybe a cycle or tricycle or something, and you put a bucket of something and you start selling, somebody will sit there and eat. We love to eat, apparently. We just love to eat. Okay? So what are the things that we're eating today? Do you feel that you're eating healthier? Who do you think, any one of you think that you're eating healthy food? Please raise your hand. Okay, 3. What about the rest? Center staff doesn't count. Okay, now, you see that our eating habit in Malaysia, okay? Now, I'm sure you have gone home late at night. Right? Now, you see all the food store that were open, okay? Were they busy or nobody visited them? It's like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. You can still see people eating at the mama or the night store. Right? And what do they eat? Fried, baked, and very spicy, and drink what? Ice or tea, all this. Right? And breakfast, what do we have breakfast? Roti canai again, okay? That's a national food, okay? We must claim that. Before India registered that, we must claim that, okay? Because now we are losing on every ground. Huh? I heard that rasa sayang is now being registered as Indonesian. So okay, nasi lemak and roti canai. What else? 炒米粉啊 fried 米粉啊 fried noodles 啊，然後鹹煎餅啊。all these 油炸鬼啦，the fried 啦 ，the baked 啦，and the 糖水啦 maybe all these are not very good for us. Okay? So there are so many talks about this healthy food. I think if you have computer, you just have to click on and you already know what you should eat and what you should not eat. You see, in Malaysia, we're eating all the wrong way, okay? We like to eat sour food. We like to eat spicy food. We like to eat sweet food. We like to eat cold food. And we like to eat at irregular hours. 最不正常的时间我们最喜欢吃。所以吃到都很不正常哈。 煎的、炸的、腌的，酸的、辣的、甜的、冷的，we love them. And all the menu, if you don't have spice, don't feel like, eating. So 全部都错了。其实最错什么？时间吃错了。Normally, from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock is the time our intestine starts to roll. It's the time it has to clean up itself. It has to discharge all the things that were left over, in our digestive system. And from the 9 o'clock onwards, your other organs throw in. Okay? And by the 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, your kidney needs to wash itself. And then you follow by the spleen, and then you follow by the liver, especially liver, from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. The time has to detoxify itself. This is the time when you should be deep asleep and let our liver do its job. But how many of us are asleep between 11 to 1? I mean, deep sleep. Try lah, only one. And the only one who sleep at that time did not dare to raise her hand. Very guilty because everybody else is not. Wow, maybe I'm abnormal. Well, if you do the wrong things regularly enough, it becomes normal. If you do the right thing, but you are the only odd person, you become abnormal. Yes, I do find that people who live a normal life, when I ask them, well, you're very normal, they do this. And those people who students who are not very normal, they eat at the wrong, they will sit at the computer and then throw everything in their mouth without knowing what they were eating, And they are very spirited between 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, but absolutely dead by 8 o'clock in the morning, and they will sleep in the afternoon. When you say, well, what do you think? You live a normal life? No. So don't worry. If you are normal, it's good, okay? So raise your hand. So, it's hard to be a normal guy nowadays because everybody is so abnormal. And if I'm normal, I have to be careful. I may be attacked by abnormal people. Yeah, it's a time, from 11 to 1, our liver has to detoxicate itself. But we don't. We don't let it rest. Then 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock is our lungs. People with lung problem tend to cough a lot more between 3 to 5. Because at the time the lungs really start going. So we are in our lifestyle, our eating lifestyle, our drinking lifestyle. Yeah, now what do we drink? Water, right? Normal people drink water, but the quality of water is not very good in Malaysia. The quality of water. Now we almost cannot live without filtered water. But as it filter, I'm sure it filters a lot of things away. But you cannot not drink filtered water because the water quality is not very good. So if you ever can go to a place with fountains and spring, taste the water. It tastes so different. So now we seem to have to drink a lot of water to replace what? The same amount of the energy that can give us from spring water. Like spring water, we don't have to drink that much. You drink a little, you feel so refreshed. When you put splash on your face, you feel so refreshed. Not like now we're almost happy to bring bottles of water with us, which is a recent phenomenon. I remember even 10 years ago, I didn't see that. Every one of us have to bring a bottle of water with us. And we have to add things inside the water to calcify it or something, and that's why people are making a lot of money with this too. So unfortunately, what we drink today is also not very healthy. When we eat pizza, it has to be accompanied by what? No need to make the brand, Fizzo drink. It doesn't taste the same without those Fizzo drink with pizza. Pizza with water doesn't taste right. It's a habit. It's a habit that we grew I remember during university day, I didn't eat pizza until I went to university, and then when I went out, whoa, watching television with a pizza and those Fizzle drink, like, perfect combination. It is heaven. Right? So pizza with water, what kind of life is this? Again, it's a normal thing. That's what we should do. Then we feel like, hey, that's not, it shouldn't be. The right way should be, I feel the tingling taste in my throat. Okay? So we are all the not so healthy lifestyle which we think is normal. Whereas if we say, okay, sleep early, wake up early, drink water, drink less coffee, right? Can you? Eat less spicy food, eat earlier. Do not eat heavy food after 8 o'clock. How many of us can do that? Maybe you still can. You are healthy and healthy, happy families. A lot of families start to eat after what? After 8. When our stomach should be resting. Give the stomach time to rest. It works a whole day already. Especially now we have so many snacks. Tell you the truth, sometimes when I get tense, I'll grab a pack of those really nice Japanese snacks, and just keep on throwing. I didn't even know what I was eating. Just keep on throwing and eating and throwing and eating until I finish the whole backpack. Then my throat starts to feel funny. What I was doing? So I have to stay away from them. The best remedy is water. You just put water beside, your desk and just keep drinking water and go to the toilet. But don't overdrink water also, please. Over drinking water is like drowning your own body. It actually makes the kidney work more than it has to. Okay, so we call balance. It's a very Chinese concept. Balance. The middle way. Always seek a balance to our life. Anything that is good, if you have too much, is bad. So everything is good. Anything that is good, if you have too much of it, it becomes bad. Because our body is made to have a balanced constituency. It's not supposed to have any, one thing more than the other. Right? So we have to have the middle way, got to balance everything out. And do not pick and choose our food. Eat only the right amount. 对饮食勿拣择，时适可勿过则。But we do pick and choose our food. I find that the food that is beneficial to me are food that I don't like. For instance, pumpkin. Pumpkin is supposed to be good for us, isn't it? Pumpkin has a lot of nutrients, but I hate pumpkins. The only pumpkin food I like is pumpkin pie. You know why I like pumpkin pie? We got cream, we got milk, we got cinnamon. So you mash them all up, put in a nice pastry, tastes very nice. But if you just steam the pumpkin or you fry the pumpkin or boil the pumpkin, so every time I see pumpkin, I use 对饮食勿拣择，时适可勿过则。I literally look at the plate of pumpkin, I read this in my mind. 对饮食勿拣择 Pumpkin, I hate it, but I love you anyway. I'll eat you. 因为对饮食勿拣择，时适可勿过则 It's good for me, it's good for me, good for me. What else did I hate that I don't like? 四念豆 It's supposed to be also very good for us. And ladies' fingers, I heard it's also very good for us. I absolutely hate ladies' fingers. I don't like that slimy taste, but it's very good for us because I check it out. It's very good, especially people with stomach ulcers, right? So when I saw ladies' fingers, I read my mantra, 对饮食勿拣择, I hate you but I love you anyway. So, 我就吃下去. It's okay, we get along fine by using it. 对饮食勿拣择, 食适可勿过则, 天下无事, 没事, 大家和平相处. Now, food that I like are usually bad for me. What do I like? All the fried food. All the fried food. I'm a vegetarian, but vegetarians have a lot of fried food. The fried mushrooms, the fried what? Fried tauhu, fried spring joy, a lot of fried thing, Fried. My favorite food is pizza. Baked, cheesy, they're not very good, but I love them, right? So be careful of what we eat, Sometimes we have to force ourselves really to get rid of our bad habit, right? So that to take care of our body, because our body works very hard for us. We have trillions and trillions of immune cells that can help us to ward off bacteria and viruses. Children and babies, they get sick a lot because they have to build up the immune system. Ever since they were born into this world, they are subject to bacteria and viruses and germs. Our body is actually very powerful. It is so powerful that it helps us to stay alive for so many years. Unfortunately, we are also very powerful in a way that we can destroy our bodies by using our indiscretion. 随便吃不应该吃的就吃，时间不对的时候也去吃 ，and 吃错东西的就很多。And the food that we have today are also not healthy for us. Genetic modified and hormone induced, right? And all these pesticides and so on. And because of transportation accessibility, we can have food that are transported from another place to here, which is not supposed to be consumed by our body, especially when they are seasonal food. See, every season have vegetables. They were meant to be eaten at that time. Okay, it's according to the body natural cycle. Now, durian, for instance, I think even 15, 20, 50 years ago, we only have durians twice a year. And the timing is very accurate. Somewhere around June, July. The other one is around December, January. Okay, you can almost time them. And mangosteen will come at the same time. So if there are durians, there are mangosteen. When there are mangosteen, there are durians. But now we can eat durians almost 12 months a year. Why? Because of this help from chemicals. We can do that. And our body may not be and should not be, perhaps eat such a heaty food on a 12-month basis. It only gave us twice a year for a reason, to help us to put up the energy. But not every month, every day. Maybe our body cannot sustain that kind of heaty energy. And we need mangosteen. Remember my mom always said, you eat durian, you must follow by mangosteen to cool yourself. But I don't think mangosteen we have yet 12 months a year. Mangosteen seems to still stick to its own rules. Right? So, well, I got durian, but I don't have mangosteen. Right? So we are kind of ruining our balance that way. And when the sun has gone down, our body is supposed to go to rest. But now we have electricity, we have all this wonderful video, wonderful chat, instant messaging machine, which that's the time we have time to read. And therefore, when we look at the clock, oh no, 1 o'clock already. Oh no, 2 o'clock already. I better go to sleep. Then when the sun is rising, our body should wake up. We're telling our body, nah, don't wake up. I'm still tired. So the whole cycle is being interrupted. Okay? So with this interruption, the Tea Square tells us that, hey, go back to that balance. Go back to that balance. Okay? Don't, destroy your body cycle. Now, especially drinking alcohol, the next line. Okay? when we are young, we should not drink alcohol. The behavior of those who are drunk is unsightly. But this is interesting though. Why when we are young? 为什么年方少勿饮酒？而他不说勿饮酒。Why didn't he say just stop you from drinking? That drinking is like cannot. You want to speculate? 哇，年方少勿饮酒，他没有说你年老也不要饮酒，你大人了也不要饮酒。为什么他说年方少勿饮酒？你看中国人中国的饮酒呢，其实它是一种艺术。You know the poets, you know when you see good friends, you have a couple of drinks. It wasn't taboo. Okay? Not like now, we drink and drink and drink until we drop dead. Not that kind of drinking. Okay? So it wasn't like you cannot drink. Right? But young people should not drink. For one, their organs are still developing. Okay? So when they are being intoxicated in such an early life, their organs cannot recover. Okay? So in a way that is to prevent them from damaging, you know, their body development. 不要把他们的那种内脏先烧坏了 because alcohol is very detrimental to the liver. The liver has to work hard to dissolve the alcohol content. 所以喝酒呢，你太年轻的时候喝就不好。第二，年轻人年纪什么？血气方刚。There was a time when his what we call the vigor. Okay, the young man's, young women's vigor is very vigorous. English is, the British is V-I-G-O-U-R, okay? So that's why the vigorous, 血气 in blood and the energy. The blood energy of a young person, 方刚, the time it's at the peak. Is at its the most vigorous, you know, most vibrant state. So it's like the flame is burning. If you splash alcohol, it will burn even like flashes a moment. So 这个时候呢，你给他的话 he doesn't know how to control himself. Okay, he doesn't know how to stop himself from drinking. And when they drink, they get drunk, unsightly, they do all kinds of, they may do silly things. Because they don't know how to control themselves. 所以要戒酒，年轻要戒这个酒。Then the Chinese assume that when you become middle age, you're more responsible. When you become adult, you know when to stop. 就像有一个 general 叫陶侃 ，General 陶侃。他叫做三杯将军 the three cups general. Why is he being called 三杯将军 Because no matter how happy the occasion is, whether he won the war or whether he was rewarded or any happy occasion, he will only drink 3 cups. I mean, they were cups, now it's 3 glasses of wine. He would never drink more than that. 所以叫做三杯将军。为什么他叫只喝3杯呢？因为他年轻的时候他喝酒太多了，喝醉酒闯祸，所以他爸爸跟他说：“你可不可以答应我，你只能够喝3杯，你一生人只能够喝3杯。”他说：“好，爸爸，我答应你。”你看，儿子答应父亲的东西就不违背了，所以他从那个时候开始只喝3杯。因为他记得他答应他父亲只能够喝3杯，所以他不会酒过3杯的，所以他叫做3杯将军。They only drink 3 cups of alcohol. At any time, he will not exceed that. 因为呢，他不要再做错事情。第二，他答应了他的父亲，他不会呢再去喝酒喝醉了。So this is also good for the children to know that they have to be responsible. So, in this chapter, it starts to move into the area of responsibility. 你要负责。I have seen news about drunken driver who hit, the victims or injured some victims very seriously, and how regretful they were. They were so regretful that they got drunk. Right? And there were young people who killed themselves because they were drunk. They drink and drive. Such a young life is such a wasted. Right? So be responsible. Let's start from, even from your making up your bed, putting away your clothing, which is a good way of starting something and finish off something. Right? To train them to be responsible, to be thrifty, not to be extravagant, right? And not to hurt other people. When we get drunk, we can easily hurt other people. 喝醉酒很容易伤害别人，伤害自己，所以这些东西呢都不要。And all this now we can teach the children about that. So when in practical life, we can teach them something, starting from their bedroom. 我们可以先从他睡房那边开始。Most of you use comforters or blankets at home. Blankets? Any comforters? Don't worry, if you use comforters, you can say comforters. Wait. Are there more blankets here? If there are more blankets, I better say nothing. And if all of them are comforters, and I use blanket, or should I say this one? It's okay. If you blankets a comforter, because we have like both. But today I would like to have my colleagues to show you how to fold a blanket, because your children are going to learn it tonight. So don't be surprised when you go home and Mom, I did this and this, and you say, what did you do? So you go home, oh, I know it. I also learned this, okay? And you set the example also. Don't let them fold and then you don't fold. Hey, Mom, you don't do it. Dad, you don't do it. Only me doing it, okay? So no, you do it too, okay? So tonight your children are going to learn about how to fold the blanket. 今天呢，你孩子会学折被，怎么样把它折到个漂漂亮的一块砖头。那这种方法呢，也可以拿到去做 comforter， 只是那个是大一点的砖头，小砖头、大砖头、中砖头都有的。如果有时间呢，就教你们折袜子。Okay, can I get some socks, please?
No. This is what our socks look like in our closet.
你看，可以站的哦。可以站的。
No trick. We didn't take it by the way. It's no magical illusion. 这是我们折的哦，这样站的。Then when I was young, I was how I fold mine. 太忙了哦。This is how I fold mine. Oh, you too? And then my favorite part is, after I fold this, I throw into the drawer. That's the more enjoy part. Then when I take it out, right? Okay. This way, they fold nicely in the closet. You take it out. All you need to do is to see. Where's this one? Is it this? Is it this? Time management. You know how busy we are, right? 要找东西了，哎呀，那字去了哪里？原来在这边。你看字就不会一出来，你看整一整，齐齐的。这个一出来了，你看一个短的，一个长的，还要花时间，是不是？哎呀 ，Where is the bottom? Whereas I took this out and I put the socks on. I save actually, 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes count. Other than, 你看到现在还不出来。See, until now, so I have to put my hands in. ，then 久了就坏了。This one, no, very simple, easy, and you can stay nicely. And if you are really very organized, but you can also organize them by colors. You get all the blues, all the gray, all the brown, all the black. You know, you can stack them up. 你要找就容易了，是不是？我今天穿黑色的 I need a black sock. Do I need to go to like sock? I cannot see, but if you say the black is here, and then you always 置冠服有定位, you always put it at the same place, right? So, but should we start with socks first? Okay, we'll start with socks first, okay? This is very practical, right? Now we're going to 打坏这个, okay? I need another person over there. Robbie? Now, as you open your socks, one's like this. Like that. Okay. So you roughly think it into 3 parts. You roughly see this as 3 parts. Okay. Now, 1, 2, and 3. 3 parts, like 3 parts, right? Okay. So you fold from the bottom, the 3 parts. This one, and then you fold the second one like half. Yes. Just basically cover up the tip of the first part. Like this. Okay. And you fold one more time. Top. And you hold it. There are 2. You on to the outer one. And then you flip. Flip it. Does it look like a turtleneck? Oh, yes, it's a hanger. See? Nice little turtleneck. Easy? And nice and tidy. So when you want to take it out, what you need to do is leave it open, and it opens up nicely. Easy, huh? Okay, on try.
Because different people can try. After that, can pass to the back. Then they all can try. Then you refold. Who wants to try? Anybody can have a try? Yeah. Oh, long. The same thing. You will use 3 turns. Yeah, one if you have a longer one, then unless you want everything to be the same size, which you can, then you have to do it yourself. You can easily fold it into half, where the length is the same. Then you start with 1/3 weight. So when everything comes together, you will always have the same length as all the rest of the socks. If not, you might have some longer, some short. So depending on our taste, how we want to do it. It is a wonderful way piece of durian. And then the reason why we leave this part out a little bit from the rest, so it doesn't really spoil the remaining. Very important, it doesn't spoil. Because if you do it just nicely, for example, real quick. If I move it right towards the rim, when I put it open, it is really straight up. So then you would stick it up. Then, just like teacher won't say it's a ring. You can do it blindfolded. You just feel it how long it is.
There's also a fast way. So these are thought of by people who have to utilize small space, small storage space. So they need to tidy up their house. One more time. So 1, 2, 3 steps. And they're happy. Now, next one is blanket. Have you ever seen blankets like this? Yes. Yeah. Here we fold our blankets like this, put them beside our pillow. One of the advantage if your children are tidy, sometimes our children have to go to camping or have to stay in dormitory or stay in other people's houses. If they have this habit, the host will be very happy. They come, look at them, they're so tidy. Instead of like, okay, a blanket that look like this, right? Then a blanket that looks like this, simply fold. See, give people a different feeling. It just feels different, like 可以了啦，爸妈这样麻烦干嘛？日子不是快吗？ It feels different, okay? So I'm going to ask our expert. Our expert can fold this in the dark because they have to wake up at 4 something in the morning. And they didn't want to wake up the dormitory mate, so they were like, so they can always do this in the dark, right? So, can I invite the two gentlemen? Mr. Lee? Let's give Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee, the blanket folder expert. And Mr. Robin.
Good evening, everyone.
There's one more table here.
What's this blanket got the length and the width, right? So what we do is we fold the length side. It means the longer side join. Okay.
The first step.
First step. So first you identify the length and the width. So you fold the length side, the edge to edge, and fold it to half. Okay? Clear, right? Next, the width, another fold. When you do this folding, very important, the edge here must be aligned neatly. After you fold already, then the other end of the edge here also you pull to make sure that it aligns neatly. Then the other okay. Because this blanket, sometimes they sell, they may not be exactly 90 degrees, right? It's okay. So then you leave it on the bed, you iron it. Use your palm to iron. Right? especially the age area. So after you iron it already, what you're going to do is three part, right? It means 1 fold, 2 fold. So altogether there are 3 parts. Get what I mean? Three parts, right? Then you iron again. Always bear in mind that each corner here are very important. That will determine whether your pancake are nicely fold or not. So that one must line well and press it. So when you do a three-part fold, it will be in this form. So after each fold, very important is the edge area that you must make sure that they are nicely pressed and pulled. Okay, then the next thing is you fold it to half to make a mark, so you put it back, so you know roughly this is the center. Then you fold forward. And you leave a little bit space at the center there. So when you fold it up, it will not crumble together all the edges there. Right. Then use your palm. First you pull the edges here. Press it. The edge here, press it. Then use your palm. Just press a little bit and fold along the line here. Turn it down the other side. Do the same thing. And you get something. Okay. Different angle. Different color.
Not that pro lah. Not that pro. You're supposed to do that every day. You're supposed to be pro.
所以要放歌嘛？现在？现在？
没有，可以啊，差不多。闭起眼睛都可以。
没有啦，我要开着眼睛的。那有看？哪个？这个？有啊。对，关。
睡觉。
谢谢老师。
So if you have comforter, it's more or less the same. It actually just simplify the process. Instead of 3-fold, you only do a 2-fold, but the rest is the same. And then you just put it over, and then you'll be comfortable to look like this. Right? And you put this facing the outside, and you put the pillow on top. Your bed looks really pretty that way. Right? So I hope you will have a nice and neat bedroom and test each other tonight. Okay? But no competition, huh? Friendly competition, okay? Okay, so we're going to adjourn our class now, but I do have a little small announcement for you. On October 15, we have Mr. Wu Nianbo, who is the director of Good Art Company. He is a very successful businessman who have incorporated 弟子规, okay, family values into his business. So starting from borrowing from the bank $195,000, he is now running a company that has close to 1.5 billion of running capital. Right? So it's worth coming here to see how he did it. You know, how he treats all his employees like his family members. So October 15, 7 o'clock to 9:30, third floor at Minglun okay? Now, if the seats will first come, first serve. The reserved seats at the front were for invited guests, okay? So for the rest, we are first come, first serve. The speech is provided for people over 18, not that because it is X-rated, but because we don't want children to walk, to run, up and down, left and right. So that's why the speech is provided for people over 18 years old. And simultaneous interpretation is provided. The talk will be given in Mandarin. We will SI and do a simultaneous translation in English. So yeah, do bring your English-speaking friends, regardless of race, ethnic groups. They're welcome to come. It's a fascinating businessman. I've never seen a businessman like him. He's what you call Ru Sang, a Confucianist businessman. He's very steady, very firm, very respectful, very humble. Unlike the kind of stereotypical, very bossy, very cocky businessman, it's very low-key. I mean, if you walk into him in the public, you wouldn't think he's a big and a company of a big company, okay? Owner of a big company. Okay, so we hope to see you on the night of October 15. look at how, studying 弟子规 and applying 弟子规 actually help your company to run well. It's also a public listed company. Now, we're not selling his company, but if you're interested, look for his company performance in the Shenzhen Stock Exchange. So he is publicly listed, right? Fully credible. So with that, you got the information? Okay. Oh, his picture. He's 57 years old. That was a speech he was giving in he was invited to give talks to business associations, to government agencies, to universities, to forums. And he's absolutely not terrified about speaking. You know why? Because he was talking about what he does every day. He's not preparing anything, special things that he did not do every day. But he was just talking about himself every day, what he does with his employees, what he does with his managers. So he was just being himself, which is a great way to live. And this is the presentation he did for Druckers. The famous guru of management, Peter Druckers. So he's a member, and he was invited to speak in one of their forums. And you can look for him on the net, Good Arc, Suzhou Good Arc Company. And you can look at his fascinated story. It's Good Arc Company. And there was a little interesting story about he and his BMW. He has a 10-year-old BMW, and all these people tell him that, boss, you should change your car. I said, but he has served me for 10 years. It's still a good car. So he's very sentimental. 真的是勿厌故勿喜新啊。他就是说，还很好，还可以用。So let's come and meet him on October 15, 7 o'clock until 9:30. Okay. Thank you very much. Good night.